All right, here we go. My beautiful stairway. So this is part two of the CB750 1974 single overhead cam, and the wheels have been done. So I'm putting some new bearings in. I was going to try and speak slow actually, because this footage is hectic as hell. But it's been days, just chipping away, getting rid of January, getting the bearings in those new wheels, because the whole front end and back end doesn't really exist from this original bike. With it being on the sidecar, so I've had to build up a front and rear end so I started having to use all the bits of brackets and stuff off that original machine, and they're rancid. This is the beautiful Wednesday 6-year-old black on black cat. Notice they're in stripes. She's doing the carburetors while I'm doing all this. Some new brake shoes, finally worked out which hub I'm using. New brake shoes, new bearing retainers. That's not a new sprocket at all, but bit by bit you can see there's some beautiful exhausts that are going on. This was me finding out after I've got all sorts of stuff. So I used a CB550 swing arm, which was a bit of a modification that people did at the time, and I used that at first because I had it lying around, so I set it all up with that, but it just won't work with sort of what I'm trying to do at the moment. I mean, anything will work. You can modify anything, but so I've gone back to the original 1974 swing arm that was on that, on the bike. Just needed a lot of cleaning up, and I'm taking it back to sort of like a brush steel finish, clear finish. Bit of 2K lacquer. Well, no, still cleaning it up there. Brushing it down this time rather than just hacking it like the frame. Bit of 2K lacquer there. Terrible. Here we go. Looks lovely. Just going through the threads, cleaning it up. It's kind of one of the main things with this. And there it is. That's where we're up to. So we've got the frame sort of sorted, the engine in the frame. We did that last time. I've got a billion bits and bobs to sort of, mostly from the original bike, but also sort of like little bits that I've collected that I knew I'd need. It's going to be a little bit. It take probably about a day of this now, of sort of installing the swing arm, installing that rear end, getting it all to work okay. The original shocks, unfortunately, the whole thing was kind of twisted towards the sidecar for so long that stuff like the shocks were kind of unserviceable. And that's it. That's a nice rear hub. Laced up to some tires, some new tire on the back and everything, and the original swing arm, finally got that sorted out. I had about 900 different spaces to sort of go through. It's a headache, to be honest, to get it to work. I should have been a little bit cleverer when I took apart the original bike. Always should. And that was probably the end of the day. And that's the CB550 swing arm, actually. So this footage is a little bit back to front. This was me putting it together with that CB550 swing arm, only to find out that it wouldn't really work, which is a pity because it's a better swing arm. It's longer. It gives the bike a longer stance. It's a sweet thing. From about the same time, maybe 1976. But then that cuts back to the footage there after I've discovered it doesn't work, and I've sort of set it on. The new front end, the new rear end, all vaguely the right year, although the forks are actually CB550 as well. That's good, isn't it? Just it lying on the floor. You'll notice a rubber mat there that it was lying on. I'm not that wild. There we go. It's starting to look like a motorcycle. It's starting a motorcycle. It's starting to look like one. I love it, man. Look at that thing. 51 years old. It'll do 120 miles an hour, that. Absolutely terrifying. But that's it. Started like a bike, getting the rear end sort of together, and that's where I'm at. That's by the end of January. I've not been on it that much to work on. I've had to go back to customers' bikes and all sorts of things, but that's where we're up to. The end of February. We've got some wheels, we've got some bits and bobs, we've got a seat. That came from, we took a little road trip to go get that. An old guy sold it. There's the original electrics from the original bike, the new electrics that are going on, the new exhaust. We've got to find a headlight. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Shout out to all my customers and everyone that helps me with all this weird shit. Thank you very much. Other people's triumphs.